If you thought reality TV had peaked, buckle up, because Dancing with the Stars just served a week so chaotic, nostalgic, emotional, and weirdly heartwarming that even the glitter on the ballroom floor probably needed therapy afterward. The moment the lights hit that iconic stage for the show's 20th anniversary celebration, the entire vibe screamed one thing: this isn't just a dance competition anymore, it's a multi-generational cultural event at this point, and the producers knew it. They came armed with surprise cameos, emotional gut punches, a relay twist absolutely nobody asked for but everybody ended up loving, and yes, a visit from a literal future king. DWTS is officially operating on royal budget energy now. Let's start with what everyone watching screamed at the same time. Tom Bergeron is back! The man, the myth, the dad joke legend returned to the ballroom as a guest judge after years away. And the second he stepped out, the entire internet went, "Oh, thank God," like we'd all been holding our breath since his exit. Julianne Hough practically turned into a human sprinkler the moment she welcomed him. Tom, who has the emotional range of a stand-up comedian but somehow also a wise life coach, walked in saying he came looking for a dance that gave him goosebumps. Sir, you were the goosebumps. The nostalgia hit so hard even the disco ball looked misty. The night kicked off with a massive opening number choreographed by Derek Hough that felt like Dancing with the Stars Avengers Assemble. You had current pros, troupe dancers, and a lineup of OG pros who crawled out of the season 1 vault looking like they aged in reverse. These people have clearly been living in cryogenic chambers powered by sequins. They hit the floor like they never left, limbs flying, hips rotating, smiles at full wattage, and the crowd lost it. DWTS basically said, "You want nostalgia? Here's an entire fever dream of your 2005 self." But the surprises didn't stop, because this week came with a relay dance challenge with a plot twist that absolutely shook the ballroom patriarchy. Instead of dancing with their usual prop partners, the celebrities were paired with past Mirrorball champions. That meant very confused celebrities, very excited champions, and an audience trying to figure out the crossover timeline as if this were a Marvel multiverse moment. Mark Ballas, seeing everyone except him in the relay lineup because he had immunity with Whitney Leavitt, simply stood on the side like the undefeated final boss. Speaking of immunity, Whitney Leavitt and Mark Ballas earned it by scoring high enough cumulatively to skip the relay altogether. So while everyone else was in the ballroom trenches sweating out choreography with brand new partners, Whitney and Mark sat there like royalty watching the chaos unfold. Imagine doing such a good job that the show rewards you with a 5-minute snack break in the middle of national television. Power couple behavior. Now let's talk about the actual chaos, the performances themselves. The stakes were ridiculously high, and the judges were in an "I'm mad, I'm just disappointed" mood unless you delivered absolute perfection, which surprisingly several couples did. First up, Robert Irwin, who already carries the emotional weight of being a national treasure, delivered one of the most powerful dances of the season. He performed a foxtrot dedicated to his late father, Steve Irwin, and if that wasn't emotionally destabilizing enough, the producers said, "You know what, let's FaceTime Prince William." And they did. Prince William literally popped into rehearsal like a casual Zoom coworker and called Robert Twinkle Toes. I mean, what do you even do with your life after that? Robert cried, everyone cried, and the judges gave the dance a perfect 40 out of 40, because what else do you do when royalty calls your contestant Twinkle Toes?
Then we had Alix Earle, who apparently decided to stop being a TikTok star and start being a ballroom assassin. She did a foxtrot to Singin' in the Rain that was so airy, graceful, and elegant that half the internet didn't recognize her for a moment. She floated across the floor like she wasn't wearing 12 pounds of rhinestones. The judges rewarded her with another perfect 40-40, and Summer Jean Kelly definitely nodded in approval. Right after that, Dylan Efron, yes, Zach's brother, the adventure dude who usually hangs off the side of a cliff, came in with Daniella Karagach and gave an Argentine tango that had absolutely no business being that good. It was sharp, dark, dramatic, and ended with another 40-40. At this point, the judges were like Oprah, "You get a perfect score, you get a perfect score, everybody gets a perfect score." Except not everybody. Because then came Jordan Chiles, the Olympic gymnast and literal human spring. She performed a cha-cha with explosive energy, but the judges gave her 37 out of 40, and Derek basically told her she had more in the tank. That's always DWTS code for, please stop being good at everything you touch, we need to maintain suspense. But then she absolutely slayed in the relay with Apollo Ono, so all balance was restored. Elaine Hendrix, who will always be known as the stepmother from The Parent Trap, brought the sass, the humor, and a salsa full of personality, scoring 36 out of 40. She danced like she knew exactly who she was, a queen with zero interest in being subtle. Alan Burstyn worked harder than a personal trainer in January trying to keep up. And then Andy Richter, the sweet, awkward, shockingly committed comedy uncle of the season. He attempted a quick step to put it on the Ritz, and the man was given it everything. Comedy elbows? Present. Marching band energy? Check. Face of a man trying to remember step 8 while already doing step 12? Absolutely. The judges gave him 29 out of 40, which is DWTS polite language for, "You are a precious soul, but this is a competition." Andy took it like a champ, joking through the nerves, but in the end, he and Emma Slater were eliminated. His fan base, affectionately named the Fandies, mourned together on social media like they lost a fictional character in a season finale. Andy said the show changed his life, and honestly, he changed ours too. The ballroom won't be the same without him. But the emotional high of the night wasn't just from the dances. The show paused to honor Len Goodman, the former head judge who passed away, and the entire ballroom went silent. It was one of those moments where even the glitter dimmed. Tom Bergeron being in the room during that tribute made it hit even harder. It felt like the show was honoring not only Len's legacy, but the entire era of DWTS that shaped pop culture. Meanwhile, the scores were stocking up, the audience votes were pouring in, and let me emphasize, the article noted it was the highest voting turnout in show history, and the pressure heading into the semifinals reached astronomical levels. Next week is Prince Night, which means purple lights, dramatic silhouettes, and maybe a legally safe reinterpretation of Purple Rain. If they don't bring out a giant purple motorcycle, we riot respectfully. But let's circle back to the biggest takeaway of the night. This season is shaping up to be one of the most competitive in years, not only because the dancers are raising the bar, but because the storytelling is hitting deeper than ever. We've got tributes, nostalgia, royal cameos, Olympic athletes, viral creators, actors, and wildlife conservation icons. DWTS said, why not just make every episode a prestige documentary with rhinestones, and honestly, we're here for it. What's even wilder is how sharply the competition line is formed. On one end, you have the dancers who are basically professionals at this point. Whitney and Mark, Alix and Val, Dylan and Daniella, Robert and Whitney. On the other, you have charismatic personalities like Elaine and Jordan who bring flavor, unpredictability, and the kind of presence that keeps the audience glued. The show isn't just about technical scores anymore. It's about who creates the moment people remember. And judging by the reactions, the Irwin tribute, and the surprise Prince cameo, the audience remembers everything. It's all adding fuel to the prediction chaos online. Who's taking the Mirrorball? Who's peaking too early? Who's about to break in the semifinals like a glitter-coated phoenix and rise stronger? Twitter is already fighting, Reddit is theorizing, and TikTok is clip editing like their lives depend on it. So where does all this leave us? With a season that's entering its final stretch stronger than ever. The dances are getting sharper, the stakes are getting higher, and the storylines are becoming the stuff of reality TV legend. This is exactly what DWTS needed for its 20-year celebration. A season that not only honors the past, but reminds everyone why this show still dominates pop culture conversations after 2 decades. And now, as the Mirrorball inches closer, the only question left is who's going to survive Prince Night without slipping on the metaphorical purple rain. The ballroom is ready, the audience is ready, and Tom Bergeron has officially returned to the building like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of ballroom television. Stick around because things are about to get even wilder. And if you want more breakdowns, drama, gossip, and glitter-covered chaos, make sure you subscribe to Inside Hollywood, where we keep the tea hot, the takes bold, and the sequence shining.